God, everybody. I think it's happening. I think it's happening. Is it happening? Hi. All right. I keep forgetting there's like a little bit of a delay on this. And when I say a little bit, I mean kind of actually a lot. So I'm going to see how long that delay is. We should have sound. I mean, I was also just being very quiet. Okay, there's like a solid minute and a half delay between me talking and what y'all actually are hearing or seeing. So that's fun. How's the volume now? Are we good? It looks good in the audio mixer. Like it looks like the volume should be okay. But let me know if it's not. It also will depend like where I'm facing because this is the mic. So if I'm like looking over here at chat, then you know. Volume is better? Okay. Do let me know if it gets too loud or if there's any other issues. I'm brand new at this, so hello. It's the first one, y'all. It's the first real one. I'm so stoked about this. Um, so first of all, am I too quiet still? Like, is this better or worse? Um, because I have volume control on my microphone, but I haven't been able to figure out which direction does what. It's not obvious. Um, so if it just got quieter, then you tell me. But if it got louder, then we're good. Okay. Apparently we're better. All right, cool. So, number one, first order of business. Everybody, please, round of applause and huge thanks to Dark and Stormy Nails, aka Cat, for basically making this happen. And also May May for helping me out as well with this. Because, yeah, Cat, like, came to my house and brought me a capture card and showed me how to set up OBS and like do all the stuff. And so this is all Cat. It's not all Cat, but it's huge props to Cat. Kitty in the corner down here, my little jammy dodgers. Because I don't have a cat cam set up, so you'll have to make do with that. But at least you have a jammy dodgers to gaze upon. Okay, so should we get going with this? So the idea today, there's you all probably know, Dimension Nails does every month. They announce like a weekly theme thing that they do, and there's like a challenge each week, with different topics. So obviously, when I saw that the one for the next week one, when I saw that it was love bugs, I was like, okay, well, obviously I have to do something for love bugs. I have to. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. And I did pull, because when I do the Dimension Nails challenges, I do like to try and use at least some Dimension Nails polishes. So I did pull a bunch of crumbs from them. But I was thinking I want to do like some kind of a sparkly or shimmery or pretty base, and I don't have anything like that from Dimension Nails. So I pulled 3 polishes from my untrieds that have been sitting there. Well, one of them's been sitting there for a long time. So this one has been sitting in my untrieds since PBE last year. This is Beau Rev, I'm on a Boat. And yeah, that was a PBE 2024 exclusive. So I have not actually properly worn this. So that's one of them. Monarch Unbreakable Bonds is a Flutterby. This Flutterby 37. This one I haven't had as long. Picked it up recently when she had her little Flutterby overstock sale. And then this Dom is Decade of Dom 10th Anniversary Trio. So yeah, I have not had a chance to try any of these. I did I swatched them all on here in 2 coats, so you can see you can see sort of what they're going to look like in 2 coats, and I'll probably need 3 on my nails realistically, but you can at least get an idea. And you know what? You've been pronouncing that Flutterby. I mean, it might be Flutterby. I don't have more information than you do. Let me see if I can figure out how to start a poll. Which base? The options are not going to be yes, no. The options are going to be Beau Rev, Monarch, and Dom. But you have to do a little interpretation. Okay. Can you all see the poll? We gotta wait for the delay to catch up, of course. I do see a couple of votes for Boat, but I'll wait for actual poll. Yeah, polls. So exciting, so exciting! Yay, polls! Love a poll. All right, let's see what we're looking like here. It looks like we've got 60% Beau Rev. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end it. The delay is such that the poll came up just as I mentioned it. Nice. Okay. I will end that, and I think that is Beau Rev gets to win. You feel important? Yes. You should feel important. You're all instrumental. Okay, so we're doing the Beau Rev. I will set the other 2 aside. And I did, of course, already put my my base on, as I always do before streaming, because otherwise it is annoying. And we're not going to talk about my index finger, because I still have the same janky, grown out fake nail on that I had last week, and I really need to get rid of that. I think the actual nail has grown out enough underneath it that now I can just remove it and trim everybody else a little shorter. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Ooh. Well, at least I didn't do that directly into the microphone. I hope you all appreciate my restraint, because that could have gotten ugly. Kind of matches my hair. Yes, it does, Kat. But yeah, I have some more swatching to do coming up. this weekend, and I think it's just barely now long enough that I can trim everybody down to the same length as it and still have almonds, barely. So for the bugs themselves, I still have not really decided what I'm gonna do exactly. I was kind of thinking that one thing I might want to do is have on these two nails have a couple of little like beetles or something, moths maybe, I don't know, some kind of bugs leaning toward each other with little cartoony lips. But I don't know if I can like pull that off and have it look reasonable. Like it might just look really bad. Yeah, I don't know. It might actually, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There are lots of other options. I could do bugs with like little heart motifs on them in place of their standard patterning. Like I could do, those little dancing itty bitty little jumping spiders, the Maratus spiders that the males are super colorful and they stick their little butts up in the air and wiggle them around. I could do one of those with a heart on the butt. That would be cute. Heart wings would be cute. Yeah, Naiwa. Yeah, I feel like there's a few different ways that you could go for the theme, and I'm just not sure how I want to do it. I do kind of like the idea of doing like replacing the regular patterns with hearts, or incorporating hearts into their regular patterns. But I also kind of like the idea of having like just a couple of goofy goobers smooching. I suppose it's still possible to do. I could theoretically do both. I really need to, I think I need to set up a cat cam too. Not that there's always a cat in this room when I'm in here, but there often is a cat in this room when I'm in here. And it seems like it would be good to set up a cat cam. I'm just not sure what I would use for that at this point, because I don't have another camera that I could hook up. Like I could use my phone, but currently my phone is how I'm looking at chat because I can't actually see far enough. With my glasses off, I can read the laptop, but with them on, I cannot. And if I have them off, then I can't see my hands to do my nails. So it's the compromise. I have to have my phone sort of in front of me here. Ray, you thought it was going to be bug hanky panky. I mean, I could certainly do that. It doesn't always work the way that you might expect it to, though. It occurs to you that you may need to control what you say now that the chat is going to be recorded. I mean, currently, chat is not displaying on the screen. And I think I have it set so that the chat is not available after the stream is, after the VOD is posted. I'm fairly certain that's how I have it set up right now. So you're kind of safe, at least for the moment. May coming to us from your car's Bluetooth. That I'm not sure I approve of that, Mei Mei. If you're driving, you should be focusing on driving. Just saying. Yeah, so bug sex. A lot of beetles do it sort of like doggy style, for lack of a better description, which, is probably what you would expect. A lot of flies do it that way as well. But spiders have very, very unusual methodology. Spiders don't, the males don't have an insertable part in their groin region. What instead happens is they take sperm in their little face hands. You know how they have those little legs, the things that look like legs that are right up on their face. The pedipalps. The males have like a special attachment on those that they use. They like basically scoop up sperm and then they flip the female's abdomen over if it's a ground spider, or they'll like just crawl around to her backside if she's on a web and insert the pedipalp tip to inject the semen. So that's how that works. And that would be very difficult to illustrate on my nails. I see a formal request from Sassy Dog Mom for a dancing booty spider. A black widow spider eating her mate. You know what, Sassy? That is actually not that common in the wild. That's the sort of thing that happens more often in captivity, generally speaking, because they're stressed and the male doesn't have an opportunity to get away. Spoons are good at eating out. Yeah, Ray. Yeah. Yeah, the black widow spider eating her mate thing is it does happen. Like I don't mean to suggest that it doesn't happen. But it doesn't happen more often with black widow spiders than it does with other species. Like it's normal. Yeah, praying mantises will also eat their mates. That happens more. That's a little more normal, actually. That's more frequent. There are lots of species actually where the male purposely gets himself killed as a mating strategy. But with black widow males, they're definitely not trying to do that. They're trying to get in and out as fast as possible, and the overwhelming majority of the time, they do. Yes, I'm saying that nature documentaries lied to you. Sorry. They were also lying about the wolves. So, you know. Sorry. All right. Third coat, and then we'll top coat, and then we'll start nail art. And if you have an idea for a design that I haven't mentioned, or that I have mentioned and you just really want to see it, speak up. I like the idea of doing a little heart butt spider, maybe on my thumb or something. I think that could be real cute. I did see mention of the dragonfly mating position, which is beautiful, but also quite complex. I'm not sure if I have a really good way to make that look good on my nails. What did you just walk into, Ashley? I don't know what you're talking about. It's a perfectly normal conversation in the chat. Yes, Naiwa, the whole alpha wolf hierarchy thing is not real. Yeah, you didn't hear about it in your actual zoology studies, Sassy Dog Mom, because it's not fucking real. And we've known that for quite a while now. Ashley, if it were anyone but you, you'd be in big trouble for making fun of the Canadian sorry. But it's you, so. I've never seen Trailer Park Boys, actually. That might be surprising. It doesn't seem like my sort of humor, but I don't know. So, okay, so thumb, some sort of Maratus with, I'll just invent the coloration and give it a little heart bum. What else do we want? The heart wings notion was kind of cute. Sorry. Brian makes fun of me for it all the time. He does the Canadian sorry. Sorry. Yeah, the heart wings notion is kind of cute. I like the idea of maybe doing that on a moth, perhaps. I think that could be pretty. Maybe I can take inspiration actually from the moth deck that I have. There's an artist, Imi Smith, in the UK who did cryptic cards. Actually, two separate series that I'm aware of cryptic cards. And beautiful artwork. The central deceit of them being that sort of imagining an alternate evolutionary path for insects in which they somehow evolved in a playing card rich environment, and how potentially they could evolve all kinds of playing card themed camouflage, essentially. To blend in, instead of blending in with leaves and whatnot, they would blend in with playing cards. So there's some very cool artwork that they did based on that. Bug eyes, but the cells are colored in heart shape. Ray, I think you're overestimating my skill at detail. Ashley says, I don't know if you've talked about it, but are there real love bugs? If not, what would you consider the best love bug? Well, there's kissing bugs, which are also known as assassin bugs, specifically one group of assassin bugs that spread, which disease is it that they spread? Oh gosh, I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, no, it's not in my head right now. But just to be clear, the ones that can spread the disease, that I've forgotten which one it is, they can only do so in regions that have that disease, and we don't have that disease here. So it wouldn't matter if you got bitten by one. But anyway, all of that is useless without me being able to remember the name of the fucking disease. Probably, I'm not supposed to swear like this on YouTube, but whatever. No, it is not mono, Ray. All right. Clearly, I have to Google this because that is an unacceptable answer. All right. God. Chagas disease. or Chagas. I don't know how you pronounce that. Anyway, we don't have it. Yeah, Niwa got it. Um, yeah, so we don't have that in this part, at least anywhere in the northern parts of North America. It's too far north. We don't have the disease. We have lots of species of assassin bugs, and I'm not sure how far north the actual species that can spread Chagas ranges. I believe it ranges up this far north, but it ranges very, very far past where Chagas actually exists. So, yeah, I have heard Linry. I know she swears in her lives. I've always been the same way though. Like, I just try and stop me. I can't. I can't stop myself. Okay, so I'm gonna top coat so that I have some insurance for when I do the actual art on top. This is super pretty. I do wish it was slightly more opaque. Like, I don't mind some visible nail line, but I don't know. I feel like for somewhat, darker or more intense colors like this, I prefer for it to be pretty opaque, generally speaking. It's still pretty, but yeah. I do wish it was just a little less translucent than that. You know what I mean? I think I have like a cat hair in my nose and it's driving me fucking crazy. So pardon me just a moment. I'm going to get out of camera view here and try to properly blow my nose. Ugh. If that doesn't stop itching, I'm going to lose my ding-dang mind. All right. While I was gone, Linry learned how shitty the Holo-Taco sponges are. Was that her first time using the Holo-Taco sponges? They're so fucking bad. I could not believe how bad they were. Like, I was using nothing but those my entire like nail art career, which admittedly was not very long, until so recently. Those were the only ones I had tried, and then I fucking got my hands on some decent ones, and I was so mad. I was so mad that I had spent years trying to make these fucking Holo-Taco ones work, and they're the worst. They're so bad. That was her first time she switched back to her cheap ones. Yeah, they're awful. I cannot believe it. Oh, she threw them in to get free shipping? Yeah. Yep. That's why I got them too, originally. But I hadn't tried anything different, so I didn't know any better. All right. It's time to start. It's time to start. Did y'all tell her about my misery with them after she found out how bad they were? Because I would have if I'd been there. All right. I'm going to start out with some Dimension Nails Black Rhino. And I'm just going to start... I'm going to move my mic a little bit here because I think I'm going to end up sort of a lot closer to this. Let's see. What the fuck do spiders look like? Let's start with just the top of the carapace here. a lot of movement in the corner of my eye. Y'all be chatting over there. I was your radio for the ride home. I'm glad to hear you weren't watching. You can't remember who said they were shit, but you did mention that you'd heard it. All right, well, I forgive you. I'm just sorry that... Sorry. I'm just sorry that anybody else had to suffer those goddamn things, because my goodness, those are awful. I started this too low on the nail. I did. I started this too low on the nail. I'm not going to have room for his cute little pedipalps. We need the pedipalps. Jammy Dodgers. Jammy has started snuffling and sneezing behind me. Okay, I'm just gonna... I probably don't really need to erase this. I can probably just go over it, but... You know... We also discussed their shitty brush quality, cleanup, and art brush quality. You know, I heard that there were problems with the art brushes, and they didn't look to me to be better than what I had from Amazon. So I did not buy the art brushes. I did buy the dotting tools, which, aside from the fact that one of them, the tip fell completely out, they're fine, I guess. All right, so this is going to be sort of mustache range. Fangs, or chelicerae really, are going to go here. Pedipalps out to the side there. And then little leggies, little leggies. Little leggies, little leggies. I'm just sort of putting them approximately in the right spot. And then we're going to have our... I guess we could sort of make it a little bit... Make the whole thing a little bit heart-shaped, huh? Just like sort of suggest the heart shape with the whole bum. And then put a heart pattern on it. And then we need to have those back legs, which do not go up that high. Come on, Peggy. They're not actually the back legs. They're usually like... Well, it depends on the species, actually. Depends on the species, which legs they put up. Okay. We'll put some leggies up. He's got an extra big bum, this guy. You haven't used your new What's Up nail brushes yet? Oh, Mimi, you got Bebe demanding pets. Please give Bebe some pets from us. Polish Mess, you have full metal dotting tools? Ooh, that sounds nice. So the ones that I got from them, it was this one, the finest one, that just like completely, or wait, was it? Or was it this end? No, it was this end. It was the drag marble, or the water marble tip, that came right out, and I ended up just squirting some E6000 into the hole and dropping it back in there. And I mean, it's fine, but it was very annoying. Give that male spider a donk. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, let's see. We need some white. And the cephalothorax is going to be predominantly gray, because that is typical. They are usually kind of a boring gray, often with stripes of color. In this part. So we'll just, I'm actually going to make that a little bigger. In here. And we'll probably end up putting a little stripe in there. Go a little darker around the sides, I think. What isn't Cat ready for? Bootylicious? Oh boy, and things are drying up here. Gonna have to either add more polish or some thinner. Let's start with a little more polish. By the way, the white I'm using is from Abomination. This is the Void, and this one I got, I was gifted this one. It wasn't technically PR, but I was gifted it, and I do get PR from them, so. Gotta make sure I'm declaring all the stuff I'm supposed to declare. It's very important. All right, speaking of dotting tools, we're gonna need those for the eyeballs. And I'm gonna do, you know what? I think I'm gonna give this little guy a little bit of bluish. I'm gonna mix loggerhead sea turtle and desert hedgehog to get sort of a mid-dusty grayish blue-green color, hopefully, which I think will be a good accent color for this little guy. We'll go in here. That's going to be around the eye line. And then let's darken that up even more for his little mustache. Yes, male spiders, at least in the jumping spider families, often have a cute little mustache. They go up to the ladies and they say, "I must ask you a question." I'm not even sorry. I'm not sorry for that. You knew what you were getting when you came here. Okay. A little more black. A little darker for the chalicery. Yeah, the void is white. They have another one. The black one is called the Abyss. So that's why. Oh geez. You see that? You see that string? Can you? I don't know if you can see that. It's like a string of gluey polish. Clearly, it is time to add some thinner. If the void is black, why is the saying "don't go into the light when you almost die"? Yeah, see? Okay, where am I? Right. I'm right here. Sometimes I get lost. It's okay. No big deal. It does seem like a good name for a black, but given that their black is called the Abyss, I think it's pretty reasonable that they called their white the Void. I think it actually makes a lot of sense. All right, I want a dark gray, and I've added too much thinner here, so I'm gonna have to mixa until it evaporates a little bit. Purple creme. Which purple creme? I haven't showed you a purple creme yet, have I? I don't think so. I have a purple crumb here, but I don't think I pulled it out yet. All right, chelicerae, which are, how to describe the chelicerae? They're not the fangs. They're the things that the fangs come out of. They're like the fang holders. They're the forearms of the fangs. The chelicerae are the forearms of the fangs. Yeah, that seems correct. You know, an arachnologist is going to happen upon this at some point in time and get super mad at me. That's all right. I don't mind. All right, pedipalps. I'm just going to suggest the pedipalps. We don't need to be perfect with this. Now I need black for the cute little buggy eyes. Ashley, yeah, I was very happy when I saw that he had some darker skinned swatchers. I mean, I knew that he was planning to do that when he did his call for swatchers. That was one of his priorities. And you know, it's so easy in this community to get lighter skinned swatchers. There's a million of us. But it can be a little more challenging, very far from difficult. Definitely not saying it's hard to do, but it requires you to actually try. And so I understand not why some people don't have it, but why sometimes it can take a little longer. But it should absolutely always be a priority. All right. I think that's going to be pretty good for the face. We're just going to leave the face at that. I'm going to just see if I can get a little closer. So there's our face. And then I'm gonna get started on the legs and the butt. So the legs are just going to be more of sort of the boring gray stuff. We'll get through those real quick, and then we'll get to the fun butt. We got to figure out what color we want the butt to be, because they're often quite colorful. If you look at those spiders that this is based on, they often have very, very colorful bums. And so I think we want to make sure that that we get some good fun color in there. I am just going to gesture at the other legs. I'm only really gonna properly render the one set of legs that sticks up. So I think obviously the heart part we want to be like pink or red or something. But they can have multiple colors. So I think we'll do some black and white banding on this. They often have like one sort of big white floofy area as well. Oh, Sassy, you're talking about Desert Hedgehog. It's definitely not purple. It's very much a faded denim is what I would call it. It's a faded denim to possibly a slate bluish. Very much a gray blue. Just call it a spood. You know, Ashley, the fun arachnologists are perfectly happy with spiders being called spoods. There are some that have a stick up their butt, but Surprisingly, not that many, actually. Yeah, Ashley, with Instagram's algorithm, it's hard to find medium and darker tone swatches. I, yeah, I followed a bunch. Well, I mean, so when you did your thing, your what do you call it? Swatcher Talk Saturday? Is that what it's called? Um, when you did that, calling for people's favorite darker skinned swatchers, I was already following most of the people on that list, but I made sure to follow, most of the rest of them. There were a couple I didn't, but yeah, like I followed a bunch of them, and I also did not get a single other suggestion. It suggested me a bunch more white swatchers, of course. And I know part of that is just because there's so many more fucking pale skins being noisy on social media and putting ourselves out there, at least on Instagram. But like, holy fuck, yo. I know that there are a fuck ton of darker skin swatchers and like just people painting their nails who are on Instagram, and I just never see them. It does not make any sense. There's no reason. And yeah, Instagram never, ever, 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 ever suggests them, which I don't love that. I don't love that. Okay, so I think this guy's booty, this spooty booty, was that Sassy that was saying spooty booty? Spider booty? I think spooty booty is the way to go with this. This spooty booty, I think we need to be a little bit silly with the colors. So I did pull a few colors that might be fun. I've got Holo Taco Flores Guava, which might be fun for the heart shape itself. Sassy, the list is on, if you go to Polished Mess Instagram, she's got it in her posts. There's a post that's a Swatcher Talk Saturday post that's all about it. It should be easy to see and figure out which one it is. And besides the ones that, well, I think she listed them all in the comments. I'm pretty sure they're all listed in the comments. And other people added their own comments with even more. So there's a bunch. I need to actually revisit it and see if I missed anybody else from the comments. So the Flores Guava, I have Dimension Nil Snowy Plover, which I think would be a good color to use in there. But I don't know what else to use. So here are some other shades that I pulled. And of course I've got like a million. Basically, if a creme exists, I have it. Like if a color exists in a creme, I have it. But I think definitely these two for sure. And I'm just not sure what to do around them. I kind of like the idea of using some of the Loggerhead Sea Turtle and maybe a bit of the Desert Hedgehog, because that will kind of tie it in a little bit with the face. Maybe that's the way to go, unless there's another suggestion. I don't think the Purple Queen Anthias goes well with that, but we'll have to use that for something else for sure. So why don't I just take a heart out approach, and then we'll see where we get. Vitamin D around the outside. Yeah, maybe. That could be a cute little fringe. If for anybody who is not arachnophobic, you could do a Google image search for Maratus, Maratus. and that should get you some photos of primarily the males with their beautiful mating display. I think we're probably going to need more than one coat of the Flores Guava because this is a little bit more sheer compared to most of their cremes. It's got crelly-ish qualities to it. All right. We'll get the first bit on and then we'll come back and touch up. Yeah, there's like tons of colors. I don't necessarily want to use their color patterns or their colors themselves, but just to kind of give you an idea of just how many colors they can have and how sort of, crazy some of the patterns can be with speckles and stripes and all kinds of stuff. So just to kind of give a little inspiration for thinking about how we want to color this guy. Their booties look like a headpiece. Yeah, they totally do. They totally do. Oh, and I've got a bit of something dangling off of there, a bit of fluff. Yeah, they're super cute. Such fancy lads. They're trying so hard to get those girls to notice them. So I'm trying to also give a little bit of a brushy look to this because the patterns are formed with little tiny hairs. So I don't want it to be too, like, smooth. You know what I mean? I mean, at this scale, it probably wouldn't really matter, but... I like to be fairly accurate as much as is reasonable when I do my little buggy art. Okay, so there's some of the snowy plover. Big bright booty hats, yes. Okay, so how about some loggerhead sea turtle? And then I do like the idea of putting some vitamin D in some spots around the edges. I think that could be fun. And I think a little bit of the desert hedgehog as well. I could also do some white accents. You know, given how long this spider is taking me, I don't know if we're headed for a real frickin' long stream, y'all. This might end up being a long one. That's okay. You know? I actually, so I don't know about y'all, but I have a tendency to watch streams as like a chill out at the end of the night thing, and I will frequently fall asleep to streams, long ones, sort of a thing. Yeah, Naiwa, they're actually, the whole group, Maratus spiders, are actually called peacock spiders. I probably should have said that instead of spelling out the word Maratus for you, but I couldn't remember the common name. I could only remember the genus name. That is the kind of nerd I am. Yep. Didn't even occur to me to think about what the common name for the group is. They're all peacock jumping spiders. Now that I have remembered that. Couch potato looking up spider butts at 2:55 a.m. Yeah, it is a good stream to have for my first one where I don't have to deal with post-processing. Let me tell you, the process of editing the streams when I was doing them on Instagram, very annoying. Extremely annoying. But that's okay. Because I'm not doing it now. All right. So I think, oh, it's got a little fluff attached. There we go. I think I want to just do a little bit of this desert hedgehog down here and then like blend it up into the loggerhead sea turtle. And then do the vitamin D around more around the top edge. So let's start blending that. Come on. Yeah, this is fun. This is cool. More. Go lighter. All right. And then get some vitamin D up in here. Scientist problems. Yeah, forgetting the common name. It is a thing. I know it seems ridiculous, but here we are. You got a bit too globby there. All right, we'll get this fringe. I did make one side a little bigger than the other, I think, but that's okay. You know? He doesn't have to have a symmetrical booty for it to be a beautiful booty. All booties are beautiful. Especially spider booties. I might be somewhat biased with that one. All right. This is really cute, guys. This is like heckin' cute. All right. I want to go back and add a little more of this guava in here. And then I think I'm actually going to add a little bit of striping to the top of his head. Which if any of you are looking at those photos, you'll see some of them have some colorful striping on the top of their head as well. So I'm going to add a little bit of that because I just think it'll balance it and make it look a little cuter. So I'm going to give him a little of this guava on either side or here, and then a tiny little bit of vitamin D down the middle. There we go. Now he's extra cute. Look at that handsome lad. Look at that handsome lad. Oh, he is heckin' cute. He is a heckin' cute lad. All right. Moving on, now that we've done exactly one nail We are an hour into stream. Okay, but to be fair, we did also start with 3 coats of the base. To be fair. All right, so God, water is so good. So we want some kind of a moth, I think. Some kind of a moth. What if... Okay. Sorry, my brain had to stop so that I could think about this for a moment. So there's a couple of things that I'm debating about. Yeah, 1 nail per hour, great pace. So one of the things that I'm thinking about is, do I want every single nail to be different? Or do I want to do a thing where I have like, you know, like a beetle couple and a moth couple, or like a moth and a moth that are, you know, facing each other, and then like something different on each of these fingers. There's just a lot of potential options. I do feel like a different bug on each nail is kind of fun. God, Luna moths, they're so beautiful, but I would have to actually look up reference. I don't really want to look up reference right now. All right. Poll. Poll time. Start a poll. Poll title is what? Every nail different. Smooching. Other. And if you answer other, you gotta volunteer your answer. Alright? I am starting the poll. Your choices are, I do each nail differently, or I do nails where there's bugs doing smooches to each other, so adjoining nails smooching at each other, or something else, and you gotta tell me what it is. Oh, thank goodness. I just got a notification on my phone that my coffee order is on its way. And I'm very excited about that because I ordered hurriedly yesterday morning when I realized that my coffee hopper was almost empty and I had no backup coffee. So that's a huge problem. It's not actually almost empty, but it's only, you know, like a week's worth of coffee in there. Very much enjoying the poll option here. All right, it looks like most people want smooching, so I'm going to end the poll there. We love polls. We love pole dancing. Smooching spiders. Spiders would never. Spiders would never. Okay, so then I guess the question is, do I do smooching here, like 2 pairs of smoochins? I guess I would have to, right? Unless I did smooching in the middle and then these ones separate. I guess I could have added that one. Yeah, it ended fast, Sassy. You gotta move quick here, friend. You gotta move fast. I saw all your smooches, though, so I know what you voted for. You're a little smooch freak. Couch potato, I really like a moth called... I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it so badly. Taubenschwanzchen. Yeah. Uh, I don't know the name for it in English either. It looks like a tiny hummingbird. Oh, it's probably either a hummingbird moth or one of the other clearwing moths that they hover, right? They're like they actually hover and look like they hover in front of the flowers and they beat their wings really really fast and they look like hummingbirds until you know get a really good look at them and you go, oh no, you're actually a moth. Yeah, hummingbird moths, they're adorable. um okay, I'm going to I'm making an executive decision. So I'm doing I'm gonna do moths on the middle and ring fingers, doing smoochies. And these two fingies, I'm gonna do different. That's what I'm gonna do because it's gonna balance better. Now these moths are gonna be white and pink and have guava, either guava or maybe I should pull a different red. I might pull a different red. What do you think? Should I use guava or should I pull a redder red? All right. Let's go. Let's go with some like sort of ermine looking moths. Just gonna sort of rough in the wingies. All right, get some pinky. I'm glad you all enjoyed my moths pronunciation. Why is that Gollum-esque? I don't know. But you're not wrong. I feel the same way about it in retrospect. I wasn't going for that at all, but it does kind of feel that way. All right. Whoop. I got a little too fancy with my brush at the side there. Gonna have to do a little cleanup. That's okay though. Let's give you a little bit of a fringe, moth. A lot of moths have a little bit of fringe. Let's get that bit there cleaned up. Okay. All right. Back into here. Get this. Of course, this is going to be slightly unrealistic because generally speaking, male and female moths are not quite as similar as this. Although it does depend on the species, but for a lot of moth species, the males and females look wildly different. And once again, I have managed to color outside the lines, but that's okay because it's a moth. The moth doesn't care. Okay, let's give it a little bit of that like fuzzy rough that a lot of them have. Got like that big fluffy top part. Make that pink. I might play with this a bit more once we've got some more details in, but we'll see. Today you did a thermal lazy gradient and your toes are thermal? thermal toes, I don't know if I want to know how weird my toes are in terms of their temperature control. I feel like they're probably real weird. You put your local team name on your nails? I don't know the name of a single one of my local teams for any sport. Nope. That's not true. Baltimore Orioles. There we go. I've got one sport. I don't remember what sport it is. Is that baseball? Somebody help me out. I only know that because of the bird. You know all my local teams? Yeah, that makes sense. Gonna add some more white in here. Yeah, there's some sport, like, okay, so hockey, I know a lot of hockey teams, even American ones, not because I watch hockey, but because you just learn it osmotically. Like you have no choice in the matter. If you grow up in Canada, you just basically, it's inescapable. You learn hockey team names. So yeah, I know a bunch. But I don't necessarily know like where they're from, or I don't necessarily always even know that they are hockey. I have the words in my head. So I also have the Ravens. What's the Ravens? Is that the football? Yes, I see Ravens are NFL. Okay. The Commanders, Capitals. Well, the Capitals, that's got to be DC, right? That's got to be DC, like baseball or hockey. Nationals. I feel like Nationals is hockey. I don't know. Ray, you're a bad Canadian. Yeah, but you're also younger than me. I'm going to get a different red for this one. I'm going to get this one from... This is Monarch Ruby Roo. Because I feel like for this one, I want to have more red. Okay. I'm sorry, Jammy. Jammy's on the back of my chair. And I disrupted her slightly. Okay. Let's get some red going here. I'm thinking, what if this is like a heart shape on the back, like this. I'm gonna need more red. I did not blob myself out nearly enough. Menma, you forgot I go live today. I put a link in Discord and everything. It's okay. You don't actually have to keep track of that sort of thing. Besides, like, isn't it ridiculously late for you? Or maybe ridiculously early now, I guess. Okay. So if it's like a half heart on the back of the wing, and then I'll also do a smaller heart here on this part of the wing. That's kind of cute. I like that. That's cute. It's 4 a.m., Menma. Yeah, you should be going to sleep. You missed the spider though. Here, let me show you the spider. This is my cute little jumping spider friend. Okay, back to the moths. Okie dokie. I'm just imagining, like, if these two ever got together at the right angle, which, you know, they wouldn't, because that would be physically weird for moths to go up against each other in this particular way, but their wings would form a heart together. And I think that's cute, even if it would never actually happen. It's a cute thing to think about. All right, a little heart here. There we go. And then I still need to do their little face, which I think I'm going to do white, and then they need little black eyes. What moth face look like? It's been a while since I've had to look at moth face. I know they have long curly proboscis. And we need a little moth tummy. I've got like a fuzz here. Need a little moth tummy. And actually the moth tummy should probably be more pinky. And we're going to need some little leggies. Moth tummy. Little moth face. Little moth proboscis. Okay, let's get some more pink here. And I might mix in a little red in with the pink just to darken it up just the teensiest bit, to really intensify the pink. Just a little. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's a pink boy right there. Good stuff. That's what we want. Okay, now for this one. For some reason, my brain has decided that this one is the lady and the other one is the boy. But actually, they're about the same size, which implies that they are the same gender or sex, because moths don't really have gender as far as we're aware. But yeah, usually females are bigger because they are large and in charge. Just gonna give them some little bit of stripiness in there. There we go. All right, leggies and eyeballs. All right, first pair of leggies. I think they need to be holding hands. The part where they're actually holding won't be visible to us, but we'll know. We'll know they're holding hands. And that's the important thing. I think maybe the first 2 pairs of legs need to be holding hands. And then the 3rd pair of legs is doing the standing. All right. There we go. And then this one, we go. First pair of arms. I'm not going to show the arms on the far side, though, because that's too many arms to show. I'm just going to have to imagine those ones, all right? There we go. And eyeballs, they got big black eyeballs. I need more black. Holding weird long tongues. I didn't do the tongues sticking out. I did them curled up. I guess I should have thought of that. It probably would have been the correct thing to do, but oh well. Eyeball. There's a little eyeball. Here we go. Come on, focus up. Focus up. Hey. There we go. Thank you. What are you doing? I have a feeling that it thinks this is a face. Yeah, it wants to focus on that. It's hilarious. Okay. Yeah, Kat, I would never expect you to be able to just spell proboscis. They do have straw tongues. Okay, so for the other 2 then, maybe a couple of beetles? Oh my god, I forgot their antennae. Sassy! Thank you. I would have had to turn in my entomology nerd card. Okay. All right, this is where we really decide. Are they both are they different sexes, or are they both the same sex? Because the antennae are one of the biggest things that show the sex on moths. And most of the time, I think these are a beautiful gay couple. I think that's what I've just decided. We're going to give them big fluffy boy antennae. Most of the time, the boys have big fluffy antennae. Because they have to seek out the pheromones. They got to sniff out the pheromones, and they do that with their antennae. Okay. That's not quite the right angle, but that's okay. We'll just pretend I did that on purpose. All right. It is so much harder to paint on that side of the nail. There we go. All right. There they are. The boys. Just a couple of boys being guys in love. Beautiful boys. Seriously, stop focusing on my palette. What the hell, man? Make the beetles the color of pheromones from BCB. Oh my god. If I do that, you won't be able to see the rest of the freaking Manny. Like, I don't think you recognize how bright that one is compared to everything else. It's wild. Like, literally the rest of the Manny will disappear. It's just like, it's all you'll be able to see. Let me grab it so I can show you. Oh, the camera is not even picking up. It's not even showing just how wildly brighter it is. It can't quite manage it. Like, it's eye searing. It's truly eye searing. Yeah, I don't think that we want to do that to this Manny. All right. Pace improved to 1 nail per 30 minutes. No, that was 2 nails in 30 minutes. Pank. Yes, the pank is powerful. All right, so I'm thinking, do I want 2 beetles? Do I want a beetle and a fly? I'm kind of feeling beetles. I like the idea of doing a pair of beetles. With like heart-shaped markings on their backs. Just because I feel like that'll balance nicer. Oh, the overall pace is 1 nail per 30 minutes. Yes. Yeah. Gotcha. My new adjusted pace. Thank you. What would I do without you? All right. Beetos. Beetos. I think I want to do 2 beetos. Good night, Menma. Sleep well. So, what color do we want the beetos to be? We could do red beetles with white hearts. That would be kind of cute. Beside the moths. Sort of do a like an inverted coloration. I also have some greens and blues out. And the yellows. Multi-chromes? No. We're doing crumbs. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I've already got a sparkly shimmer as my base. And if I put a multi-chrome on top of that, it's just going to be distracting. If I wanted to do multi-chrome beetle, I would want to use a creme base. Everybody else is more than welcome to choose a different path. But for me, I like to only have either the base creme and the art in special effects polishes, or vice versa. I don't like to have both. For me, it feels like it competes too much. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing a reverse cowgirl on top. Not because I don't love it. I do. It's just I know that I will be unhappy with it. I know that I will be unhappy because of the shimmer on shimmer. It's just the way my brain works. It do not want the competition. I know you're too much genus strong. And I appreciate that about you. All right, red with white hearts. We've got enough votes for that, at least in the absence of my willingness to do anything else. Okay. What kind of beetles are these gonna be? I don't think I want them to be. I know ladybugs are sort of the obvious, but I don't know that I necessarily want them to be ladybugs. I think I might want them to be long friends. We're just gonna invent our own buprestid, maybe. Let's invent our own buprestid. That is a jewel beetle. Sorry. the words exist in my brain and they come out before the common names do. It's just what my brain do. It's how I think of them. I don't think of them as jewel beetles in my head. I think of them as Buprestidae. You were literally typing ladybugs when I said that? Yeah. I mean, it's the obvious thought, right? Like, you're going to do red beetles with dots on them. Obviously, what you're going to do is ladybugs, right? Of course. What else could it possibly be? But I'll tell you a secret. It's not actually a secret. I'll tell anybody. As much as I love bugs in general, beetles in particular, I don't love ladybugs. And it's not for any of the reasons that most people might think. So I know there are people who don't like ladybugs, because there's like the most common species here in a lot of North America is an invasive species, or because they can be pesty in some areas, depending, or because they, their babies like to eat your plants. It's none of that. It's just because they're the only beetles that anybody seems to frickin' know. And so I am a little bit speciesist against ladybugs. Because they're everywhere. Like, if you see a beetle patterned thing, or a bug patterned thing, you can be guaranteed, bug patterned thing, there's going to be ladybugs and there's going to be butterflies. And those are the kinds of bugs that people like. And it's okay to like ladybugs and butterflies because they are cute and pretty. No. Sassy Dog Mom, I can only think of dung beetles. Dung beetles are a great beetle. Dung beetles are freaking awesome. They are badass. That's a cool beetle. I want more dung beetles and less cutesy little ladybugs. Scarlet lily beetles, beautiful, Naiwa. I think those are gorgeous. Fun round yellow ones with dots. Those might also be one of the ladybug varieties. Yeah, too popular for Peggy. That's exactly right. Oh, the banded cucumber beetles. Those are adorable. Yeah, they're not round though. But yeah, cucumber beetles are adorable. There's a few different leaf beetles that are just, beetles are just great. Beetles are awesome. I freaking love beetles. There are no bad beetles. All beetles are good beetles. Which includes ladybugs, but they're the least good, okay? They're just the least good. They're just the least interesting to me because I see them all the time and I'm just like, whatever. Same with butterflies. Whatever. They're fine. Moths, though. Moths are freaking cool. Some of the moths have the most incredibly cool caterpillars. I actually tend to prefer the caterpillars to the moths themselves. The yellow ones that look like they have a class shield on them. This rant deserves its own Peggy Ted emote. Yeah, I should someday, if I'm worthy of channel emotes, then I'll have a TED Talk emote. I am an etymological hipster. No, I'm not. I just don't. I just get bored. I get bored of things that I see too much. Just gonna let these dry a little bit. Tortoise beetle. Oh, okay, yes. I don't think of tortoise beetles as having spots, even though they do, but because those are, they're like structurally a little different. Usually the spots are in the under layer, and the elytra are a little bit translucent. Yeah. Awesomeness girl, you know you have a ton of June beetles there. They're cute. They're such idiots. June beetles are great because they're so stupid. They're like really bad at flying. Is it hipster or is it ADHD? No one will ever know. Who can tell? I'm just going to put a second coat of this because red creme over top of anything other than white is not going to be quite as bright as I would like it to be. I'll just make sure we get maximum red out of this. This is just a little bit dry. It's gooping up on me. No, do not correct Erica. They are beetles. You can call them June bugs if you want, but they are beetles, and June beetle is the correct term for them. Yeah, they always fly at your face. It's because they're bad at flying. Yeah, they're not even that big. I mean, it does depend. There's different species that are called June bugs or June beetles in different regions. So the common species that is called a June beetle here in Maryland is freaking so small compared to what I'm used to. They're like barely bigger than your average ladybug. We also have the larger green one that's more the size of the June beetles that I'm used to from back home. But yeah, there's a bunch of different species that can get called June beetle or June bug. You're allowed to call it that even though it's not actually a bug. I was just teasing, Sassy. Red flying thumbs. Asparagus beetles. Which ones are the asparagus beetles? I might have to look that up. I don't know that common name. Asparagus beetle. Okay, so they're one of the leaf beetles. That's cute. That is a cute friend. I don't know if I've seen those, but they're very cute. Okay, little white hearts. I love that all these beetles are just named after veggies. Yeah, except for dung beetles. I mean, I guess you could define poop as a vegetable in the absence of defining it as an animal or a mineral. I don't think it's accurate though. All right, let's do a little heart, and then a little heart, and then and then watch out because it gets goopy fast. Yeah, exactly. They get named after what they eat. And it's very common way to name things. Is you tend to find them on the thing that they eat. And so if you're always finding a certain bug on a certain plant, you're likely to end up naming it after that plant. And usually they are there because, yeah, that's where they eat or where they mate, or both. Okay. Gonna have to definitely... Oh, I got a stringy bit. Don't want that. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little work on these to make them look more like beetles, but I think once we get like the division between the elytra and the legs and stuff like that on, I think it'll help. Okay. Yes, dung beetle Pokemon. What is that one called? I can't remember. I saw it. Ox beetles. I'm not sure which ones have that as a common name. That's true. Dung beetles do roll dung that's typically derived from veggies. Trash bag Pokemon. Yeah, that's Trubbish. I know that one. Dung beetles have one mate and raise their young. I don't know. Yeah, there's certainly some beetles. I don't know specifically. There's definitely lots of different beetle species that have like parental care. It's not like typical, but there's certainly plenty of them. Ox and longhorn beetles found on cattle. Yeah, those are exceptions, Erica. Those ones are not named for what they're found on. That would be very funny, though. Rhinoceros beetles being found on rhinoceroses. Yeah, no. Okay. I think, you know what? I think I want to actually do a little bit, just a tiny, tiny touch of a little bit of highlighting. And I'm going to need a bit of thinner in this. Just gonna do a dab of shading on these, just to make them, give them a little bit more detail. Make them look a little fancier. Strategist aloeus is the proper name for ox beetles. Huh. I don't know that one. I'll have to look them up. I assume it's one of the horned beetles where the males have some sort of horny protrusion from their face. Yeah, the beetles will get these ones wouldn't have anything out their face, like any kind of mandible that would stick out the front, but they will get leggies and they will get antennae. But I'm going to do that after I get the backs done. I don't like how that was working. I think it's too light. Let's get so much more red with just a little bit of the pink. How about this? Let's try that, see if that's a better. Yeah, that's a little better. I like that better. Like, I want it to be slightly highlighted, but I don't want it to be like bright. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay, so get the black out. Actually, yeah, I'll do the antennae in black. Well, maybe they should have red antennae. Nah, we'll do them black. Yeah, I need to keep the palette off of the out of the range of the camera, because it just is obsessed. It is obsessed. Okay. I like to be able to keep the palette where you can see it, so you can see the like mixing, because I feel like it's maybe informative. Maybe it's not, I don't know. But it certainly isn't helpful if the stupid freaking camera refuses to focus on anything other than it. Well, that's, you know what? I don't like how this came out. I'm gonna do a little touch up on that. I'm gonna have to erase some of that and fix it, because I don't like it. That's okay though. I think part of it is that I think that I was right to second guess myself on the antennae. I think the antennae actually should be red. I think it will look better. So let's just get rid of that. Once again, reminding myself why I always want to put a top coat down before I start nail art. There we go. Yeah, I'm using a large stamper for the palette. Yeah, Naiwa, I'm gonna use a slightly blackened red. I think that'll be the best way to do. Yes, Cat, it's the sticky stamper base from the Voldemort shrinker that is really bad. It's a shitty shrinker. I could never get it to work properly. But the base of it is really good for this. All right, so get some little leggies. And we're not going to work too hard on making these leggies fancy. We're just going to make them be leggies. And as always, we remember with any kind of insect anatomy, the leggies always come out near the front. Same with spoods. Leggies come out of the head because they don't have a separate head and torso. They just have a head and a butt. So leggies come out the head. With beetles and other insects, the leggies come out the torso. The thorax is what it's properly called. All right. Now I want to mix a dark red. And part of that is going to be for the separations in the elytra, and part will be for the antennae. I feel like that's still too dark. I want dark, but I don't know if I want quite that dark. Well, let's see. Let's see. All right. So if I'm speaking Greek, the elytra on a beetle are the two sections that split apart in the middle to reveal the actual wings underneath. Okay, that's actually pretty okay. Make sure I get a line straight down the middle of those hearts or it's going to look weird. I got a little bit off on that last one, but I think it's okay. Get some shadow in the sides. Okay. And then we need our antennae. This is starting to goop up on me. So, yeah, we'll just do it right in here. I just managed to spill thinner everywhere. Sonyo, hello. Were you having trouble getting the stream up? You came in and said it's working, so I wonder if you had problems. I hope not. I think I want to make this a little bit more red. It is just a bit too dark for the antennae. Okay, you're just glad it's working for me. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I was pretty confident that it was going to work. Mei Mei and I did one last test yesterday afternoon just to make sure that I was feeling confident about how to start everything, because there's like several steps I have to take on the camera and like hooking things up correctly to like get it to work properly. All right, so we're gonna do the little spots where the antennae come out of, and then I'm just gonna do a fine line for the antennae themselves instead of using a dotting tool for it. So yeah, between Kat setting me up and Mei Mei helping me test, both Kat and Mei Mei helped me test. I was feeling reasonably confident, but there was also a part of my brain that was like, but what if it doesn't work? But what if you're ready to go live and something happens and it doesn't work? You got a Jammy Cameo? Where'd you get a Jammy Cameo from? Oh, you mean Jesus. While you were helping, yes, you got a Jammy Cameo because Jammy got on my lap while Mei Mei was helping. I understand now. I just have very little brain, so you know how it is. I forget 5 minutes ago. Yeah, Mei Mei, I'm sure that it does just become muscle memory and it's fine, but yeah, like Sonyo says, there's always that part of your brain that's like, is it gonna get all fucked up now? Is this the time? Is this the time that I'm gonna look like an idiot because I can't get this thing to work? Is it today? All right, so I think that's everything, and we're just ready for top coat. Now, there is hollow in the base that I used, so I'm not sure if I want to go glossy or matte for this. I feel like the matte, of course, always sort of shows the detail better, makes it easier to photograph. but it will kill the hollow in the base. I'm doing seal glaze first for obvious reasons. So if anybody doesn't know, it's the DRK seal glaze. Jammy Dodgers, what you doing, little girl? Are you taking up more of the chair? Do I need to move? She just started like rolling over and got up and turned around, and now she's pushing against my back and snuffling. So I guess the 3 inches of my office chair that I'm taking up, she might need more of it. I don't know. I swear. A cutie patootie bunch of buggies. Thanks, Naiwa. I am pretty happy with them. I think they came out pretty good. Here's my little spood friend. I really like my little gay moths. I think my little gay boy moths are adorable. They make me very happy. I guess the beetles have to be... Either the beetles are ladies or my hand is just a complete sausage party, because that's a male. I don't know. I do need to figure out some kind of cat cam situation, though, at some point. I just don't know what to use for that. Maybe, I wonder if I can get my iPad set up in here. It's possible. It is kind of an older iPad, though. I don't know if it would... Don't know how well it would work. Bunch of dudes looking for love. Yeah, May, I would just need to buy another webcam. And then find some place to actually hook it up to. And plug it in. You have no idea. The power situation in this room is insane. Between the lights and the and all the like camera equipment, it's absurd. It's absurd. I have multiple large power strips that are packed. Yeah, it's actually, there's like a potentially dangerous horrible bundle down in the corner that Kat has seen. Well, that is the other thing, Kat, is not just giving the audience a butt shot, because Jammy this is like her favorite spot is behind my chair, so it would also be aimed at my butt. Sonyo, I know you're okay with butt shots, but there is also a second cat actually back there. Budgie Smuggler is maybe I can show you Budgie. Hang on. Yeah, there she is. You can just barely see her there, curled up on the on that tub back there. There's a little Budgie baby. That's a good girl. Yeah. Good kitty. Okay. Budgie got pets. Yeah, cable management, non-existent, but it's literally just like the sheer number of power outlets in here is not sufficient. But yeah, I could set up a webcam on her if I could come up with something that would work. I do have, let's see, I have one more HDMI port in this, and looks like a couple of USB-C ports, so they could get plugged into my laptop at least. Every light has a plug, and I have I have so many more than 6 lights. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15 lights in this room. Plus the air purifier, plus laptop, old phone, which is like a guest, like smart home access point now. The microphone, the camera, yeah, and then the charger for this phone as well. It's a lot. It's a lot of things. A lot of things are plugged into a lot of places. So if I have like a webcam that can be powered by the laptop and uses USB-C, then that is potentially an option. I would just have a hard time finding a place to power a webcam from. Okay, did we decide whether I'm doing matte or glossy? What do we think? Maybe I should do a poll, actually. Should I do a poll? Let me do a poll. I'm poll crazy. I'm going poll crazy, y'all. Finish matte or glossy. Poll started. Your written votes mean nothing to me. Only your poll votes mean anything to me. Yeah, it wouldn't even have to be a particularly good webcam. So I'm sure that there are options. I just have to find one. Well, you're all voting glossy. I guess it's glossy. There's now more votes for glossy than it. There's more than half of the people have voted for glossy. So, yeah, there we go. All right, glossy it is. Just got this actually recently. I think it was at might have been their Black Friday sale that I grabbed this. It's their quick dry non-toluene top coat from Dimension. I've been using it just actually the past few days because all my other top coats, like, they're fine, but they've just gotten down really low, and so I need to combine them, which I just haven't gotten around to doing yet. So I will do it one of these days, and then use those up. But I had a friend over. I was doing her nails for her, and didn't want to like be trying to use up the dregs of an old bottle, so I just pulled this one, and so I have been liking it so far. It's a good one. I'm pretty easy when it comes to top coat. It can't have toluene because I'm allergic. It needs to dry reasonably quickly. It needs to be reasonably glossy, not too thin, and it needs to have a nice brush. So it checks all those boxes, so I'm happy with it. There we go. You washed 2 dishes and missed a vote. It's okay, Sonia. Your vote wasn't going to count. Unless you voted for glossy. There were too many people voted for Glossy for Matt to have a statistical chance of occurring, or even just a mathematical chance of occurring. So it was all good. But you were gonna vote for Glossy anyway, Sonia. I know how you feel about Hollow. Matt would have killed it. Yeah, May, if you have Rex for webcams, that would be cool. It is indeed Peridot on my other hand. Peridot bother me. I hadn't worn it yet, and we were heading to the hospital this morning. Because Brian needed just a routine follow-up endoscopy, because when you have all your works pulled out of you and stitched back together in a new shape, they like to check periodically and make sure that that things are still working properly and that everything is good. But yeah, so we were heading to the hospital, and I was like, or we were going to be heading to the hospital. We were getting ready, and I was like, even though my nails are short on this hand, I know I will find a way to break them if I am going around with naked nails. And plus I had a really cool nail art on the other hand, and I kind of feel weird if I have cool nail art on one hand and the other hand is just straight up naked. So it was fun, but the waiting room turned out to be a combination of blue, teal, and exactly this color of green. So it was like, oh, I have accidentally matched the hospital waiting room. Perfect. Yeah, they got to make sure the plumbing is still plumbing properly. He does have some ulcers, turns out, in his esophagus now, or what used to be the stomach that is serving as an esophagus. He's got some ulcers, but that's not surprising. It's kind of normal for having the kind of procedure that he had. He just needs to be better about not eating or drinking too soon before bed. May, you broke a nail today and made a huge crack on your thumb. That's terrible. And Kid also broke 2 nails today. Wasn't that today that Kid broke 2 nails? Can't be playing around with that, even when your nails are short. All right, y'all. I think we've done some good work here today. Are you gonna focus properly, or is that too close for you? This camera doesn't do super well with very close up, but it should do better than that. Come on. Come on. Really? There you go. Don't like that position at all, but it's what I got. I think they're super cute. I really like the color combination. I really liked the various and sundry ideas that y'all came up with. This was a lot of fun. All right. This is just my group of fellas having a fellas a felon's time. Felon's Time Day is bad. No, that sounds like it's for felons. Fellas Valentines. It's just for the boys. It would be a sausage party if beetles and moths and spiders had such apparatuses. But, you know, not exactly. Sort of. Some of them sort of do. It's not the same. I don't want to think about it that hard. All right, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me. This was a lot of fun. Valentine's Day. Let's hear it for the boys. Oh, Valendudes. I like that. Valendudes Day. That's cute. It's just dudes being guys. Guys being fellas. Fellas being men. And holding hands, loving each other. And this fella's still looking for love, but that's okay. With a butt like that, I'm sure he's gonna find it. Galentines. That's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna knock off. Thank you everybody for being here and hanging out with me and everything. That was super fun, and we'll do it again next week. Except next week, rather than doing nail art next week, I'm going to be playing with the new Arcana lacquer collection that they are coming out with. It will be releasing on the Friday, which I believe is the 14th. So I'll be streaming that on the Thursday at my usual time. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.